everyone, welcome back to Elray Books. I'm Ellie and today I want to talk about the Stella Prize shortlist. So my thoughts on it and my feelings, I guess. So before I get started, I just want to recommend that of course you go and check out Jacqueline from 6 Minutes For Me. She did a video on the shortlist. When I mentioned the Stella Prize reads in my Feb book haul and wrap up, I also mentioned some of her videos, and now she's also made this one, and yeah, she's just awesome. So I do recommend going and checking out that video. We'll be making some of the same points because we have a lot of the same feelings on the books, but I wanted to talk about my opinions of the list. The shortlist was announced on Friday the 8th of March for International Women's Day. Was it the 8th? I don't know dates anymore. So my first feeling, I was extremely disappointed, confused, and maybe even a little bit angry. And I know it's just a shortlist for a book award, and it doesn't mean that the books aren't good, but I just kind of felt like it was kind of like a kick to the teeth. So I'll go through, in case you don't know, the 6 shortlisted books for the prize, and then I'll talk about why I was feeling like that and what I feel about the books that are on the list, and let's go on. So we've got Little Gods by Jenny Ackland, we've got The Bridge by Enza Gandolfo, we have Pink Mountain on Locust Island by Jamie Marina Lau. We have The Erratics by Vicky Laveau Harvey. We have Too Much Lip by Melissa Lukashenko, I believe is how you say it. And we have Axiomatic by Maria Tamarkin. So you might, from that list, notice that if you follow sort of like Australian literature, 2 big books that were on the long list didn't make the short list, and those 2 were Eggshell Skull by Bree Lee and The Arsonist by Chloe Hooper. So Eggshell Skull was the best book I read last year, and when I read this one in February, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant, and I was very, very disappointed to see that neither of them had made the list. I fully believe that they deserve to, and I'm not saying that they, the ones that made the list, I don't want to demean the authors or anything like that and say that they didn't also deserve to be on the list in their own way, but I just completely blew my mind that these 2 were not there, especially because I feel like, as someone who works in a bookshop, I know that those 2 books sell incredibly well, and in fact I think the only other one on the list that I've seen sold even since the long list was announced is Too Much Lip. So it was just so mind-blowing to me that those 2 that are so, I guess, popular and, sought out after, weren't on the list. And it just, I feel like they deserve to be on there. They both talk about really intense topics. For those of you who don't know, Eggshell Skull is Bree Lee's personal account of going through not only working as a judge's I can't remember what the exact title is, but sort of like a judge's assistant, I guess isn't the word, but that's the only one I can think of right now. And that's dealing with a lot of sexual assault cases, and it's also about her bringing charges against the man who sexually assaulted her as a child. And it's really intense and beautiful, and yeah, I mean, I've talked about it so many times on this channel before. If you've been here for a while, you'll have heard me talk about it. And then, of course, The Arsonist, if you didn't hear me mention it in my last 2 videos, this is a book about Black Saturday, which was bushfires here in Victoria. A lot of people lost their lives, their homes, entire towns. This is looking at 2 of those fires that were deliberately lit, and I just think that those are both incredibly important books. It is the, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's the 10-year anniversary of Black Saturday. Or it was last month, because it happened in February of 2009. So I just feel like those 2 books, so with the 10-year anniversary and with the whole Me Too movement going on at the moment, I just felt like those 2 books were very important to Australian society. We definitely need books like Eggshell Skull, and like I said, I know this is just a prize, and that it doesn't really mean anything, but I would have loved it for Eggshell Skull to win. In fact, I just expected it to win. Like, I just honestly hadn't thought of any other possibilities. And yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the ones that did make the shortlist. I don't hate them all. I loved Pink Mountain on Locust Island. It was a great book. And Jamie Moreno is the youngest person to be shortlisted for the Stella Prize, and I think that's incredible. And I guess from the list now, if this one could win, I would love it to, because it's one of the best that I have read from the list. But yeah, I really like this one. The only other one that I finished on the list is Axiomatic by Maria Shamarkin, which I also really loved, but Jacqueline mentioned this in her video that she doesn't really think that it's like one that'll win, and I have to agree with her there, because I think I just get the feeling that one of the it's not. There are 2 non-fiction books on the shortlist, and I feel like it's, with a fiction-dominated shortlist, I feel like a fiction book is going to win. So yeah, I hope it's Pink Mountain, but I did also really enjoy Axiomatic. I'm currently reading Too Much Lip by Melissa Lukashenko, and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously I haven't finished that one yet, but maybe that'll be kind of equal with Pink Mountain. I think I'm probably about 100 pages in. I'm reading it off Scribed, so I don't really know where that is in equal to like what a paperback would be, or even like a ebook that you've bought sort of thing. But yeah, so far I am enjoying it. And then, as I showed you, I have the Erratics, and you might have noticed that I have a bookmark in it at the moment. I borrowed this one from the library, and I've read 45 pages, and I think I'm gonna DNF it. It's not bad, but I just don't care. Like, it's about this author going back to her family, and her mum's she's dealing with undiagnosed mental illness, and she like, it's kind of like she like tortures father, and it's really strange. And I just, in the same way, I don't care. Like, I don't know, I just can't bring myself to care. I feel bad for her, but her writing just doesn't make me want to keep going. And then the other two, Little Gods by Jenny Ackland, I actually DNF'd, and I will talk about that more in my March wrap up, but I haven't seen anyone who's actually finished the book, so I don't really know how that one made the shortlist rather, because yeah, everyone I've seen has been like, this is boring, there are too many characters, I can't keep up, I'm not going to keep reading, sort of thing. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. And then the final one is The Bridge, which honestly, that one just came so far left field for me. I did not even for a minute think that it would make the shortlist. And I hope that doesn't sound awful. I haven't read it, but it just seems like such a weird book to make the list in comparison to things that were on the shortlist that I think would have made it. I was also shocked to see that Fiona Wright's book, The World is Whole, didn't make the list. She made the shortlist a few years ago with her book Small Acts of Disappearance. This one is kind of like a follow-on to that. So I guess I kind of thought that one would also make the list. I also haven't read that one yet, but that is one I want to get to. I guess to wrap up, I've decided I'm not gonna continue reading the list, kind of. My goal was originally to read all 12 books that made the long list, and honestly, after the shortlist came out, I felt very disheartened. And I sort of looked at the books that I hadn't read, and I was like, I don't want to read these anymore. I kind of give up. So there are a few more that I do want to read. Like, I do want to read or finish reading Too Much Lip because I am really enjoying it. Yeah, and I would be very interested in reading The World Was Whole by Fiona Wright, which I planned on doing anyway because I really like her. But otherwise, I'm decided I'm not going to continue with the ones that I didn't get through. I had left the ones that I wasn't really interested in until last, including The Bridge and Theoretic, so I'm going to DNF this and then just pass on the rest of them that I haven't just mentioned. But yeah, I'm still feeling pretty disappointed in the list. But what can you do? Anyway, those were my thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this isn't like the usual kind of video that I do, so I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Make sure you go check out Jacqueline's video because I've mentioned it so many times. She's way more eloquent than I am. So definitely go and watch her video. And I will see you all in a few days. I'm going to be doing a little update video, which I'm about to go and film now. I'm going to be bulk filming a lot of videos today, so I hope you feel okay with this jumper. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye.